Hello everyone, I'm Trung with VTV International. You're watching the English bulletin VTV News for the latest events related to Vietnam. First, let's get you up to date with the headlines. Vietnam commits to ensuring security for foreign investors at the 2014 Midterm Business Forum. And later, a documentary film festival sparks dialogue between Europe and Vietnam. On to the first update of the hour. Under the theme Agenda to Action, Preparing for New Trade Agreements, the 2014 Midterm Vietnam Business Forum, or VBF, took place this morning in Hanoi. One of the highlights of the event was Vietnamese government's efforts to ensure a safe investment environment for foreign businesses in the country. The forum was co-chaired by Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng and leaders from the World Bank and international finance corporations. Linh Hương has the details.
Prime Minister Nguyễn Tấn Dũng reiterated Vietnam's commitment in fully supporting businesses affected by what happened in Bình Dương, Hà Tĩnh and Đồng Nai recently, when parades opposing China's illegal placement of an oil rig in Vietnam exclusive economic zone turned into clashes, and some people took advantage of the situation and set fire to the houses of foreign workers and stole company assets.
Our country has cooperated and assisted these businesses, and most of them that suffered the damage have now resumed operation. I have recently met with our friends from the Taiwanese Business Association and found that nearly 20 enterprises have not returned. The Vietnamese government has decided, together with local authorities, to discuss in detail. I want to emphasize to discuss in detail to each enterprises that suffered damage to come up with a plan to resume production. This plan will bring mutual benefits to us all.
Representatives from the Taiwanese Chamber of Commerce in Vietnam has expressed appreciation for Vietnamese government's efforts.
Although we have still have a lot of difficulty in investment, some rules, but we have more confidence to invest in Vietnam now because we can see the Prime Minister and the other leaders of government department, they have a determination to keep the investor in Vietnam, and they try to improve the investment circumstance to all who want to come to Vietnam.
At the same time, VCCI's chairman Vũ Tiến Lộc pointed out that Vietnam is preparing measures to reduce its over-dependence to China's economy, and one of the most useful ways is to taking full advantage of free trade agreements.
China has been a big input supplier for many of Vietnam's economic sectors. China is also a big importer of Vietnamese exports. This means that any change in Vietnam-China relations will affect Vietnam's industries and also agriculture sector. Reducing dependence to China, diversifying importing markets, seeking for new suppliers is now an urgent task. And we are now also facing great chances, which are free trade agreements with leading global economies.
Vietnam is under its negotiation process with Trans-Pacific Partnership, European Union and Korea for free trade agreements. This midterm Vietnam Business Forum also discussed policies in tax, labor and relevant amended laws between the government and the local and foreign business community. A favorable business environment will help Vietnam get well prepared to embrace opportunities and overcome challenges from such free trade agreements. Linh Hương, Vietnam Television.
Now, during its plenary session on Thursday, the National Assembly convened to discuss the draft law on the management and use of public funds in production and business. Legislators see this future law as a legal basis for the effective management of public spending.
Statistics show that the Vietnamese government currently owns about 45% of the total assets in state-managed corporations in the country. In detail, the government provides about 42 billion of the total $95 billion of corporate assets. However, concerns have been raised over the business activities of state-managed corporations, and criticism has clouded the use of funds to invest in non-core businesses. Therefore, the prospective law on the management and use of public funds in business is hoped to bring clearer legislation to this field.
The law have to spell out how state-owned and state-managed corporations invest. It will also need to clarify standards to guide the management of such investments, and the management of state enterprises needs better regulations. The prospective law will resolve current shortcomings in the management and use of public funds by aligning regulations with the state budget law, the public procurement law, and the enterprise law.
State-owned enterprises are currently being urged to divest from non-core businesses. However, the amendments to the law on enterprises stipulate that enterprises are allowed to invest in any business activities not prohibited by the law. This has raised questions about whether and within which limits state-owned enterprises can invest in non-core businesses again.
The law have to determine where state-owned enterprises can invest, who has the authority to make the investment decisions, and how effective the investments should be. The ultimate goal is to use public money effectively in businesses.
The introduction of the law on the management and use of public funds in business is another step toward forming a concrete constitution. Together with the amended law on public procurement and the law on enterprises, the new law is expected to bring more transparency to public spending.
Vietnam's Ministry of Planning and Investment has officially denied allegations that Japan has halted official development assistance or ODA to Vietnam following a bribery scandal at an urban railway project in Hanoi. According to the ministry, Japan has only temporarily suspended funding for the project involved in the bribery case. The Japanese side will consider proposals for future projects by Vietnam Railways, provided that Vietnam pledges to strictly punish those involved in the bribery scandal and prevent future graft. To increase the effectiveness of ODA disbursement, the Ministry of Planning and Investment will devise a formal procedure to monitor ODA projects and make the bidding process and financial management of such projects more transparent.
Exotic Vietnam is an intriguing blend of many charms. This land is where all manner of stunning landscapes await like a visual feast, rivaled only by the beauty of its people and their abundantly rich tradition and culture. Here is where you can relive the past in richest color or live it up in the bright lights of the big city. With so much more to offer, Vietnam is simply unforgettable.
Welcome back to VTV News for the latest updates about Vietnam. A national meeting in response to the World Environment Day on June 5th was held in Ho Chi Minh City with the participation of more than 1,500 people. Themed Together We Protect the Ocean, the World Environment Day in Vietnam is being celebrated at the same time as Vietnam Sea and Island Week 2014. Addressing the event, Deputy Prime Minister Hoàng Trung Hải stressed that the government has issued many policies on environmental protection and climate change adaptation. He also asked ministries and agencies to raise people's awareness of the management and use of natural resources, development of eco-industries, energy saving, and participation in activities in response to the World Environment Day. Other activities such as seminars, rubbish collecting, and tree planting have also been organized throughout the country. During many of his visits to Vietnam over the past 18 years, a Canadian man has considered collecting debris and keeping the beach tidy his personal duty. Dubbed Mr. Garbage, Parisio Pierre-Louis has organized many activities and mobilized local residents to help improve the environment in Nha Trang City, Khánh Hòa Province.
At 7 a.m., the first thing on Pierrot's to-do list for the day is visit Hon Chong Beach in Nha Trang. In fact, he makes the same trip to the beach every day to pick up the debris left over from tourists the day before. During his 10 visits to Vietnam over the past 18 years, he has volunteered to collect over 600 garbage bags from beaches in Vũng Tàu and Nha Trang.
This is coming from the river. There's so much plastic here in Vietnam, in Malaysia, in Indonesia, in Thailand, and many other countries. A lot of the garbage come here goes maybe 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 kilometers away in the Midway Islands, and it gathers there and it stays there in a big circle. It's called the Great Pacific Patch. Garbage going around is the size of maybe France. And the children who are here and help me many times over there, they deserve better.
Pierrot is not alone in his quest to improve the environment here. Many local residents who learned about Pierrot's mission have also volunteered to help.
The job is not tiring at all. With only a little bit of time every day, we can help clean up the beach and make it beautiful again.
Last April, Pierrot opened a very special green coffee shop in the city, where collected garbage is recycled into decorations and the use of electricity is reduced to a minimum. I think it's very interesting that a foreign visitor cares so much about Vietnam's environment. I was very happy to hear about him. Pierrot also teaches English, but his classes contain a message about protecting the environment. His students, as well as many local residents, know Pierrot as Mr. Garbage, and he will continue his mission until the shore is clear of debris.
Bicycle.
On to other news. The 6th European Vietnamese Documentary Film Festival opened on Wednesday in Hanoi. The festival will present 17 films featuring a variety of filmmaking styles and topics relevant to each society. The event will also screen 5 documentaries produced by young filmmakers from Cambodia, Myanmar, Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam. The selected films focus on major cultural and social issues in contemporary life, such as family, disasters, the lives of immigrants, urban planning, traffic, and the preservation of traditional products. This year's festival is being held in Hanoi from June 4th to 12th and in Ho Chi Minh City from June 21st to the 29th. And that's also the last piece of news we'll have for you in this hour. Before saying goodbye, let's take a quick look at today's weather forecast. The weather forecast has also brought us to a close for this hour. Thank you very much for being here with us. Simply visit our website at vtv4.vn to rewatch any of our programs online. For now, goodbye from Hanoi.